And we are live.
Ukaona murume anosimudza ruoko achirova mudzimai, chandinoziva ini ndechekuti hapana kana zuva rimwe raakambosimudza ruoko irworwo mukirasi.
Mwana weumwe munhu kauyu wauri kuita kunge bhora kudai, kana kuti ndiyo nzira yaunoti apa ndagadzirisa nayo nyaya. Zvakaoma. Kodiko mwana wevanhu pamwe inherera kwekuenda kana kuti wekuturira ndo pasina. Ngatingoti ndiwe wawana hama yako ichirohwa yakasungirirwa seizvi. Unonzwa sei? Vedu weka. Saka kurikita kwauri kuita uku hausi kunzwawo here kuti kuchema uku ndekwemunhu abayiwa panyama nete. Unorova uchibonderedza kudai. Saka kuchema uku haunzwewo tsitsi here. Ko akafa. Ngatiti pane vana. Uchazovataurirawo here vakura kuti ndakarova mai venyu vakafa. Vamwe vanhu soka. Kuchema uku hakusvikewo pamwoyo pako here. Ukaona uchiita zvakadaika usinganzwi kuvhunduka kana kutya nazvo ka. It means hauchakwani musociety yevanhu vane mafeelings neconscience. Nyika iri kuzvitaura here izvi mazuva ese kana kuti inomirira 16 days dziya dzeactivism. Ivo vechidzimai vachipondwa nekurohwa every day. Let's say no to gender-based violence.
Yeah, yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome back to our show with Babsi. Tadzoka zvakare, mamuka sei, maswera sei muri yeZimbabwe. Tadzoka nechirongwa chedu chegender issues. Lingave livuka njani, lachona njani mthwakazi omuhle, sesibuyile njalo, sesiphendukile njalo kuhlelo lwethu esilwenza every Friday, gender issues. Lapho esikhangela khona indaba zobulili, lobulili nduna kumbe ubulili risa. Lapho esikhangela khona indaba ezihluphayo esithi ngama gender based violence. Namhlanje ngihamba ngedwa kodwa anginyedwa, ngilosiso wami ngemuva ngale kuthiwa crew behind the scene. Namhla usisi Mobi akekho, ngihamba ngedwa, ndiri kufamba ndega nhasi asi ndine wamwe wangu kuseruku. Tadzoka zvakare kutaura nyaya dziri kunetsa, nyaya dzegender based violence. Ndofunga maiona vhidhiyo yataburitsayo kuti hanzi muri kutaura here nezvegender based violence mazuva ese, kana kuti muri kumirira 16 days of activism. Challenge, this is the challenge that we have been given. The big question is, are you talking about gender based violence issues, or you are waiting, or you only wait for the 16 days of activism against gender based violence? I think you are all aware kuti every time na November, that's when most people become very active on these issues, 16 days. But are we saying kuti the 16 days is enough? Isusu say change radio, we said no, the 16 days are not enough. That's the reason why we are doing these shows, these programs every Friday. Please do join us every Friday. You will be live on Change Radio and live on ZimEye. Makadi muri Zimbabwe. Leader Estella, any comments there? I can't see any comments. I want to greet my viewers and listeners there. What are they saying before I go? Anzi Nadosi Mudzanire. Hanzi zvakaoma izvi zveshuwa zvakaoma. Hanzi hei zvinorwadza asikana naMartha Chiumba. Honestly zvinorwadza. Hanzi naRubambo Ndogwedu. Tasquera leader Barbara, how are you, my comrade there? Hanzi Jesse Samways. Sichonile, sichonile sibili Jesse kunjani ungapi Jesse akunjeli ukuthi ungapi kwendawo. Enji so sad. Yes, it's so sad. Angie, issues of gender-based violence. Anzi, Tombi Futi Mdluli. Oh my God, save the people. Honestly, God has to intervene on this gender-based violence. Melody Chikosha is saying, oh my God, good afternoon, Sis Babsi and Sis Estella. Your shows are really helping much. Thank you so much for the feedback.
Guys,
My
Melody,
sister Melody. Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate.
Sisi Barbara.
Yes.
Ndeve kuchange radio. Sisi Melody, ndeve kuchange radio.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. You know what, our viewers and listeners, those who are watching us and you would want to be part of the show, please do give me a ring. We'll incorporate you if you want to share your story, or maybe you want to raise awareness. Anything. This show is yours. We are open to people who want to come to the show and share us their experiences. There is my number there. You can get in touch with me on WhatsApp. Thank you so much, Leader Estella. You are really helping. You are very helpful. Thank you there. Yes, today we are bringing the issues of gender-based violence. I think those that were following when we're doing these shows with More Blessing, we were focusing mainly on issues of gender-based violence, either perpetrated on men or perpetrated on women. As you are aware, gender-based violence is the gender means men and women, so it's either way. But now we Anzina Ernest Urayai, Leader Barbara, how are you? I'm good, my brother, and you? So we were focusing Kundai T toziwa hanzi shame and zvinorwadza sure that video, you know, is very playful. Is very painful. Tichaitamba futi in between, because I know there are some who didn't watch it. It's very sad to watch something like that. Inini ndinobva Leader Estella ndinonzwa kutya kupindwa nechando kana ndichiwacha that video, but today I said regai ndisimbe ndizvishingise ndiiburitse tiratidze ruzhinji rweZimbabwe kuda vamwe havana kuiona, and would want to upload this man who plugged up courage and produced such a wonderful video. I think we have to get in touch with him, Leader Estella. We have to bring him to the program so that he will tell us what really inspired him to do such a painful video. So today, our viewers and listeners, we are talking about gender-based violence and its connection with gender equality. I know most people, they don't understand this issue of gender equality. Why are we saying, are we bringing gender-based violence and gender equality at the same time? So the United Nations saw it's fit to link the two, the gender-based violence, and it's caused by lack of, or maybe it's caused by gender inequality. My gender-based violence, mukatarisa, they are caused by inequalities that are there between the genders, the male and the female. So the United Nations, in 1993, when there was a declaration on the elimination of violence against women. So the UN General Assembly recognized that violence against women is a manifestation of historical unequal power relations between men and women. This is a research, and this is I think we all know what United Nations stands for. United Nations is a nation of different countries, and Zimbabwe is also part of the United Nations. So they saw kuti my issues of gender-based violence, when they were rising, there were some people who were doing my research, and then they came up with a conclusion to say these are issues of gender-based violence they are mainly caused by, it is a manifestation of historical unequal power relations between men and women. So this is why today we have decided to bring the two issues together. So Hanzi, iyo chinombonzi gender inequality chimbori chii? What is gender inequality? Kuyini okuthiwa i-gender inequality? Ukungalingani kwabesilisa labesifazane, kusawenzana kwemadzimai kwevakadzi nevarume. Hanzi World Health Organization here yatinoziva tese here, the World Health Organization inoti, it defines sex as the biological and psychological characteristics that define men and women. We all agree kuti men and women, they are different biologically. Tese tinobvumirana izvozvo. So today is like this program, it will be like a lecture tichidzidzisana, an awareness tichidzidzisana. It's different from our previous shows. So we want to move together. Wanema contributions, please put them on the comments. I'll be reading them so that we move together. So we said with biological men and women, they are different. Okay, and then gender is defined as the socially constructed roles, behaviors, activities, and attributes, but a given society considers appropriate for men and women. Gender is chiefly about the characteristics and roles that societies attribute to women and men. So gender is not predetermined. It is not predetermined, but it is constructed by societies. And the gender, it's constructed by societies, meaning to say kuti the gender roles there dzatinoziva kuti vasikana vanogeza maplate, vasikana vanotsvaira mumba, vasikana ndo vanobika, vakomana vanoshanda mugarden. And that one was prescribed by the society, but it doesn't necessarily mean kuti those roles are glued to those genders. Anyone can do anything. A man can cook, a woman can dig, a man can wash, a woman can work in the garden. But the biological part is the one, the sex is the one that is different. So the inequalities now, they come from this society that determined the gender roles. So the issue of gender-based violence, it now comes into play to say kuti ezvinezvi takuona vana mai vakuenda kumabasa. Kudhara vana mai vangu vasingashandi vaigara mumba vachibika, vachiwacha, vachichengeta mhuri. Mwana musikana ainzi akadzidza kusvika grade 7 akagona kunyora zita rake, obva anzi hai ngaaregedze kuenda kuchikoro nekuti acharoorwa. But now takuona mwana musikana akuenda kuchikoro zvangofanana nemwana mukomana. Umntwana oyinkazana sesimbona katesi usekwanisa kuyenza lokho kwakungayenziwa umntwana ongumfana. Umntwana oyinkazana ngaphambilini wayengafundiswa okuya ngaphi because kwakuthiwa uzahamba ekwenda. So ama-gender roles lawa yiwo ke ayenza ukuthi kube lama inequalities, ukungalingani lokho esikhuluma ngakho. But kodwa akutsho phela ukuthi umntwana oyinkazana angeke ahambe esikolo, umntwana oyinkazana angeke ayenze ama-sciences. Umntwana oyinkazana can do anything that a boy can do. So these inequalities, they emanate from that. So the issues of gender-based violence, like we said before, Kuti, it's now a global issue whereby it's now being brought even at the workplace, where the description or maybe the gender-based violence yataiziwa kuti ndeye mudzimba yakuwanikwa kuti even nekumabasa iriko. So there is currently something that is happening even in the field of work. If you are saying with the field of work, get me right. We are not saying with my companies per se. It's field of work is everywhere. In companies, in buses, is a field of work. In stores, is a field of work. Wherever you are, wherever people are working, is a field of work. In churches, we have people that work in churches. It's a field of work. Everywhere. In ships, it's a field of work. Even murod chaimo, we find people working. As they work, tine vanhu vaya vanotogadzira maroad handiti pane varume pane vakadzi. As they work, tinotowana maissues egender based ipapa mukadzi abatwa garo ari kushanda unoita sei, what do you do, manager ari kuti kana uchida kuti ndikupromote tanga warara nemi unoita sei. So this issue has been seen kuti yakutekeshera everywhere, and now there is a law that has been crafted internationally, like International Labour Organization, and this law is going to protect each and every one, the men and the women that are in the field of work, any field of work where work is being carried out. Even in Mudzimba, we have Waskana Bebas. How many maids have been abused by their employers? How many not my garden boy, but that's not their names, eh? So how many of those have been abused by their employers? So, and what has been done cannot brushwa aside. How many maids wakamitiswa nana baba waishandira zvikango brushwa maid akanzi ngarowe pasi akasara chichengeta mwana ari ega? That's rape. But how many of those cases were reported? So these are the issues that we are looking at. So like I said, the International Labour Organization, they looked at all these things. Wakabuda nemtemo, mtemo wakapaswa 2019 ku Geneva. Now they want the countries to rectify, they want my countries to adopt those laws or that convention could eat a law. And once ikaita law, I think zvichafamba mushe, because people were getting away with murder. People were getting away with abuse anywhere, everywhere. But now people are going to be protected. People are now going to be protected. So the convention is simply called the Convention 190. And there's also a recommendation to it, which is recommendation 206. So we are going to show you a video whereby the Secretary General of International Trade Union Coordination, this is the international that looks at all workers all over the world. So everyone is a member of this organization. So they came up with an awareness, with a campaign, with a petition to say everyone must sign. So if you know Iwewe, one way or the other, you will be maybe uchapinda mudambudziko, whether you are a man or you are a woman, uchatopinda mu situation of being violated your rights at a workplace. Please sign this petition. Sign this petition. Our technical team, they are going to flight this petition after this video. Let's listen to what they are saying about this harassment, sexual harassment or harassment in the field of work. Ruthie Kwachaira, hanzi hai, murisei henyu. Uri Gwachaira okupi wewe? Ndine hama dzangu dzekwaGwachaira, uye kuinbox. Okay. Hanzi Tendai Chidarikire. Hello Barbara, how are you Tendai? I'm good. Let's watch this video, please. Hanzi Ernest Urayai, it's so bad these days, Leader Barbara. Maybe it's because of the hard times. Yes, the hard times also contribute, my brother. People, Mudzimba umo amuna peace, amuna mari. So kana musina mari, vanhu vari kuurayana dhora chairo. Baba vakangotora dhora rematumata amai, mai wakutoita bongozozo, wakutorowana, wakutourayana, vachiurayana dhora. But nyaya haizi yedhora. Nyaya ndeeconomy isina kumira zvakanaka. So it's hanzi thanks Hama Munashe kutipa zviri kuitika. Sheila Natsai, yes, I want you to watch this video, Sheila. If you are a worker, kana ndichiti worker ndofunga ndatsanangura kuti tiri kutaura kuti I are not saying we are not talking about the workers in my companies, my official companies. We've got workers all over in the informal sector. We've got workers, even isusu takadai so pa Change Radio titori ma workers, isn't it, Stella? We are also workers, yeah. So yes, so we are going to play you this video. Please watch this video and we'll discuss, or maybe that you sign that petition that Leader Estella is just pinned there. Leader Estella, can you please play them that video before we move on?
Greetings. Today I have good news. C190, Convention 190, the Convention to Eliminate Violence in the Workplace, comes into force on June 25th. You can take great pride in the long campaign to get the convention and then to see it into law. We have to thank 6 governments, the governments of Fiji, of Uruguay, of Namibia, of Argentina, of Somalia and of Ecuador, who actually ratified this convention to make this day possible. But now we need all governments in order to protect workers, particularly women, against violence. We need to make sure governments ratify the convention and put the laws in place. So the campaign starts now. We have prepared a toolkit. It'll be available on the website, and there's a petition. Go to the website, sign the petition. Let's tell the world that the trade unions, the ITUC family, is standing to fight violence in the workplace, to see it eliminated, to see the legal tools to make that possible. Ratify C190, implement it with Recommendation 206. Let's protect women and all other victims of violence. Thank you for your efforts. This is such an important campaign, and I know it's your efforts that will make the difference.
Yes. Thank you so much. I think you heard it by yourself. Could you sign the petition and make a difference? Please, let's sign this petition. One day you will remember me, and one day I know we are going to have people who are going to have testimonies here after they will have signed this petition. Like we said, Kuti, the issue of gender inequality and violence against women, it's like achieving gender equality means eradicating all forms of discrimination against women and removing barriers that prevent women from being fully equal with men and realizing their rights. One of the most widespread and persuasive barriers is violence against women. So violence, hanzi wakadzi mune hasha too much, kuda kwashe mazinyane, hanzi wakadzi mune hasha too much. Gender based violence ainene wakadzi, even varume vari kurohwawo. Saka varume vari kurohwa zvinoreva kuti vane hasha were. We are saying no to gender based violence, whether vakadzi vane hasha kana kuti varume vane hasha. Isusu tiri kuti mhirizhonga no, hatiede mhirizhonga, whether iri kuitwa nemukadzi kana kuti iri kuitwa nemurume. Emelda Kundishora, hi sister Barbara, how are you, Emelda? Thank you so much for joining us. So we are saying no to gender based violence, whether we are a man or you are a woman. You are not entitled to beat that man. You are not entitled to beat that woman. You don't have that right. So here they are saying, Hanzi, the gender, achieving gender equality would have eradicated all forms of discrimination. You know what, Leader Estella, I've watched sometimes social media, people are bullying each other, or maybe women being discriminated against. And this is another. If we eliminate discrimination, do you know what? Sometimes women are discriminated just because they are women. Kunzi Hanzi, you cannot be an MP because you are a woman. You cannot be a councillor because you are a woman. Or you can't be into politics because you are a woman. That's discrimination. And yet it was discovered that development, any development without women, it's a nullity, it's null and void. That's why you're seeing, like, look at the continents where discrimination is rife. Like, take for instance in Africa. Africa is not developed because of these issues. The gender issues are the main major cause. Look at men. What are they doing? Men think kuti ndivo vanogona kutungamira, but look at countries that have been headed by women. And even the COVID situation, look at the countries where which have women leaders. Havana kungoita macases e-COVID akanyanya akafanana nemamwe ma-countries. So yes, so it's like give women a chance to lead, and then you will see kuti nyika inobudirira sei. Women were born leaders naturally. Isn't it, Esther?
This was what leader Barbara, because the true form of leadership is serving. And women naturally serve. They serve the whole family. They serve the community. But our men, who are the ones who are mainly in power, they have not been raised to serve so much. And this is why when they get into positions of power, they don't think of serving the people who they are supposed to represent. They take up the same role that they have grown up in as, the sons of the family, for whom the laundry is done, the food is cooked, and when they earn their own money, it's their own to do with as they please. They're not expected to contribute to the, to the finances of the family. And this is exactly what they do when they get into power. They continue with the same attitudes, seeking not to serve, but seeking to serve their own interests. So if we were to have a woman who knows what it means to take care of a child 24 hours and to raise that child into adulthood, she will know what it means to raise the country from its childhood until it is mature and developed.
I like that, leader Estella. You correctly put it. Women, they are given responsibilities from birth, until they take responsibilities of raising their children. And once a woman has been given that responsibility, they carry out those responsibilities with love, and until those children are grown up. Now we are saying, Kuti, if a woman is given a responsibility of leading the country, she will also take responsibility of that country, and she will make sure that their development matters in that country. Kuti, in that country is developed, because there's no woman who wants to live in an underdeveloped country, because most of the work is being done by women. So women would also want to have life here irichi yakavarerukira Estella. So women believe in development. That's why you see even my clubs, you see around mikando here, we see women wachijoina my clubs. Why? Because they are saying we cannot afford to buy properties or buy our assets because we are not employed. So they come together and start having those clubs, Estella, building their making anchi by pulling their funds together, and then they share, and then you see them doing big projects. Isn't it that a leadership? Me, I see it as leadership is at its highest level, leader Estella. Now, going to conclude our program, leader Estella, and achieving gender equality means eradicating all forms of discrimination against women. And if we eradicate all forms of discrimination against women, we will achieve gender equality. So there you are. We wherever you are, whether it's your sister, whether it's your wife, whether it's your daughter, please treat them with respect. Treat them as equal people. Treat them as people who can also do whatever men can do. And the violence against women is fundamental a violation of women's rights and girls' rights, and including the right to life and the right to bodily integrity, and is a barrier to women's full participation in all spheres of life. And the gender violence against women, it's a barrier on itself because it hinders women to participate in all spheres of life. And also, violence against women is both a cause and consequence of gender inequality and is an abuse of the power imbalance between women and men. It is a means of social control that maintains unequal power relations between women and men and reinforces women's subordinate status. Also, violence against women is used to enforce gender roles and norms, assumes that women are inferior to men and that men have the right to control women. That's why you're seeing now, Leader Estella, there is now the issue of sexual rights. I think this one is a topic on its own. We will come and discuss about that one to say, because in the past, men used to say, if I have a girlfriend or if I have a wife, I have the right to a body, I'll do whatever I want. Even if the woman doesn't want, the men will just force the woman whilst the woman doesn't want. So because of what was inscribed socially to us to say men control women in every sphere. So this is the reason why we seeing gender-based violence. And even kudhara, Estella, do you know people are saying with gender-based violence, even kudhara, vanamai wedu, we would see it zvichiitika, vanamai vachigara pakona vakarereka mutsipa iwe vachirohwa, and they never used even to complain because zvainzi mai vanofanira kurohwa, hanzi mukadzi anofanira kurohwa one way or the other, mukadzi anofanira kurohwa. So it was like it was cultural to beat a woman, but also the same culture was also saying that you have to treat your woman with respect. So it now was something, Estella, which people now thought people who wanted to take advantage of the culture which is good and make it a bad culture, because in I've always said kuti hakuna culture inoti mukadzi ngaaro. Yes. Anything that you would want to share, any comments so that I can read before we close, Estelle? Emelda Kundishora, and hi, Sister Barbara. Hi, Emelda, how are you?
And our last comment.
Titi Mavunzi, and hello. Hi, Titi, how are you?
Yes, that was the last comment we had.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe Leader Estella, if you have one or two closing remarks, and then we call it quits for today. Thank you so much.
Oh yes, just wherever you are tuning in to gender issues, as Leader Barbara said, take it upon yourself to do what you can to eradicate gender-based violence. And as Leader Barbara pointed out, it starts with discrimination against women. Once you discriminate against a woman and you think that for any reason she is less than you or less than a man, without you even being conscious of it. It can easily lead to you um, perpetuating, gender-based violence against the woman, whether it is in the workplace or in your relationship, as even just as friends, or as even your sister. You can perpetuate gender-based violence against your sister without realizing it, when maybe you beat her up because you saw her with a boyfriend or something like that. But if you saw your little brother with a girlfriend, you will not beat him up for that. So that constitutes gender-based violence. So the best way to eradicate gender-based violence is to avoid discriminating against women, to conscientize yourself to see just another person in a woman, not a person who is less than other people.
Yes,
And yes, and from me, I
yes,
want to
yes.
wish you all a very blessed night and a very blessed weekend.
Yes.
Over to you.
Thank you so much, Leader Estela. There you go, our leaders, viewers and listeners. That was gender issues brought to you live on Change Radio and ZimI. Please, let's make a date again next Friday, same time, 8 p.m. Zimbabwean time. Stay tuned to Change Radio. Always log into ZimI for more stories and educative program like this one. Thank you so much. Have a very blessed day. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. Lilale kuhle, lisale kuhle, lichone kuhle mthakazi omuhle. Bekuyisikhathi esihle ukuba lani kuleli hlelo ole gender issues. Lulethelwa phela yi-Change Radio le-ZimI. Sizahlangana njalo ku program elandelayo. Hansi Melody Jikosha, thank you guys, love the program. Thank you so much, Melody. Let's make a date again next Friday, same time. Good day. Leader Estela, over to you. Our closing song, and we call it quits. Bye.
Bye.